Hi, we felt like it was time to give our greenhouse a little bit of a facelift. So we removed the shade cloth and the ropes and loosened all the plastic. Lance is pounding in new rebar here. We are going to add 4 more ribs, the PVC pipe ribs. And we're actually here adding 4 wooden braces, 2 on each side, that will hold up the hip board. Once we have that done, then we inserted the 4 new ribs and attached the plastic back to the hip board with the wiggle wire. Now we're working on the pipes that will ultimately become the roll-up side mechanism. And true to form, we worked late into the night, well after dark, so you can't see us. Hi, so this is day 2 on our little greenhouse. I saw that. Our greenhouse little remodel. And we want to show you what we worked into the night doing and what we just finished up. We still have a little bit more to go, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I'm going to hand the camera over to Lance, and he can film while I show you what we just accomplished.
Probably upside down and at an angle.
No.
No? Okay, fine. Be that way.
Ta-da! So theoretically,
Yeah, you have to have enough room to start the hand crank.
huh?
I said, yes, it does require enough room to start the hand crank. But once you do that,
Are you getting this over here? This is a really cool part.
oh my
Not me
goodness. No, you cranking's part of the fun. Right
Ta-da!
there.
Roll up side.
Roll up sides on there. And we'll be adding hardware cloth to the sides, so
all down here.
most everything can't get in except for the smaller bugs.
Smaller bugs will be able to get to, but grasshoppers will be able to stay out.
Yeah, we gotta get rid
And then
of
we
those
won't have
grasshoppers.
dogs running in there.
Right. No dogs, no chickens that go after the
Yeah,
grasshoppers once we
no
get chickens.
It'll be awesome.
Yep,
And
but
then
not too bad.
we're gonna put the shade cloth back up and over. That's
Yep.
what that mess is.
Yep, that's
But
the
now
shade
we
cloth.
can actually run the weed eater along here because the
Yes.
plastic is up
Yes,
and it won't be a mess.
because at this point I think the weeds are going to eat the eater. Yeah,
So we
very cool.
added 4 more ribs. So every other one, that one, this one was here. We added this guy and this guy. So it made it a little bit more taut
And sturdy.
and sturdy.
It's much sturdier.
And we put in a couple braces here to hold the hip board up because I know it looks like it's up too high in the middle, but I think it's going to relax a little bit. It was sagging pretty bad.
Yeah.
So we put 2 braces in. We're going to put 2 more braces on each side, 1 at each corner for the hardware cloth so it can wrap around to the
Right there.
front
Yep.
and kind of close that gap where the side and the front plastic meet.
Pull that plastic in basically that's right there. And then
Yeah.
that's the hardware cloth we'll attach to on the sides.
And
Yep.
then I added the clamps. There's clamps in here that hold it to the pipe so that it rolls up.
Mm-hmm.
But we added clamps here to hold the front plastic in and around. Now that can be trimmed. And I added clamps here to keep this taut
Mm-hmm.
so that the excess is on the front and not in this first cavity.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you walk inside, you don't have to duck. I'm not that tall, but I was ducking when I walked in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a lot neater, cleaner looking. The inside's a disaster. I have to reorganize and get it cleaned out and get ready for fall planting.
But look at that plastic.
It looks a lot better.
Heck of a lot better. Yes.
A lot better.
Excellent.
So we're gonna put the shade cloth on and then work on the hardware cloth after it cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, today it's raining, so we decided we were going to come inside the greenhouse and get the hardware cloth up along the bottom half here to try to keep out to try to keep out the grasshoppers. I planted a moringa tree. It's coming apart, and it was doing really well, and the grasshoppers chopped the top off for me. So we gotta do something about the grasshoppers. We're gonna take the hardware cloth and wrap it around the end on the inside, so there will still be a gap there that they will be able to get through, but it should, drastically limit the amount of grasshoppers that can come in. And then go all along the side, and then wrap around again on the front half here, and do it on both sides and see what we end up with. So, gonna turn you back over to
Super speed!
Super Speed! Hi, so we just got one half of the greenhouse covered with the hardware cloth at the bottom, and let's put in the last little corner piece in. There were some places where we couldn't get the hardware cloth to wrap up and around the pipe close enough. So he's going to put one more little piece down here to kind of just cover a hole, basically.
That's right.
That's right. You're silly.
There we go. Nothing's getting through there.
And that's got it pretty good, like all along this pipe area here. I think they would be able to get in there if they worked really hard, in behind this. In behind this here. If they worked at it really hard, they could come in, but there's no way of keeping everything out.
Nope.
But we have it all up in behind all of the pipes, and it's pretty tight up in there. They would have to, skewer themselves pretty good to squeeze through, and they might try. We might go back and put extra little pieces behind all of those eventually.
Yeah, reinforce it.
So here we just took the wire from the packaging and we laced it together at the bottom, and then went around the pipe all the way up. And then we added a second piece in behind so that it could cover all these holes here that the first piece didn't cover. And look, it's already working because there's somebody on the outside and he can't get in. Sorry, bud. No mas. Alright, so what is
We're
it?
only good on one side, though. That's the problem.
What is it?
Super speed!
Yeah, back to super speed. So here's a close-up of the action.
Go. It's all good.
We were running out of the good screws, so we went to Tractor Supply and got the closest thing we could find, but it's a Phillips head. So we're using it intermittently in the center.
Yes.
And then the hex head in other places.
Yep. We're doing the hex head, the good ones, right along all the poles, and we're doing the other ones on in between because they're not quite so important.
So one at the base of the pole, and then he cuts down.
The middle, usually like 18.
Plus one. It's always one more. We need just one more. Ooh, sun's gonna shine a little bit. And then wrap it around.
And then we use the good ones to keep it in place because they actually have bigger heads than the other type do. So it's easier to hold this stuff in that way.
And that keeps it pretty tight up around that pipe. So, like I said, I think things could still get in through there, but it'll keep out the giant grasshoppers.
Yep.
And majority of everything else until they figure out where to come and go.
Yeah, exactly.
We could always put a little extra piece back there too, like we did on the corners.
Go, that keeps it held out a little bit more, having a screw into the pole there like that. Now that we got the hardware cloth on everything, we're putting all of our tables back in the same places they were before.
No.
Do you like that setup? No.
Oh, the same places they were this morning, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
Okay, so here is the final reveal on the latest upgrades to the greenhouse. We have the roll-up sides installed, which we've been loving. It's nice to be able to close it real easy when there's a storm coming. And then now we have the hardware cloth on the inside, all along on the bottom half. So very easy to ventilate, but that's also going to keep out the larger bugs and neighborhood cats and dogs and our chickens when we get them, that kind of thing. Over here I have our billboard tarps. There's some more hardware cloth, some more shade cloth. We have our corner shelves here for, you know, like if you have a drink or whatever when you're down here and you need a solid surface. There's a pretty good sized stick bug right over here. He's been here all day. There he is. The window works. I obviously have a bird house in front of it right now, but it does work, and we have closed it. There's the neighbor's brush pile. Lot of floor space in here. I'm gonna do some stuff in pots come fall and winter, and a lot of floor space so I can get them in the middle of the greenhouse and not have them close to the outside where the temperature is going to be, you know, more fluctuating. Got trays over here on this one, good working area on this one, and supplies underneath and alongside. And then my ingenious idea for trash was to have this removable trash bin. It's just an old pot, but removable trash bin, and then this one is going to stay put because it's screwed to the wall. That way if a gust of wind comes through, it's not dumping my trash. Obviously I need to go empty it. So good storage, good kind of security from bigger things. So very pleased with how it's turned out. And it just looks nice. I have one zinnia growing here in this pot. The succulents, 3 of them are still going, but they didn't fare too well during the summer. The pot angle was just really difficult to keep it watered sufficiently, even though they were succulents. So here's a look at it from the outside. Oh, there's a bugger I gotta go get. You are being evicted. Look at it from the outside. On the inside. Very pleased with this. Super roomy, lots of storage, lots of area for growing fall and winter plants. Very excited about that. As always, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it when you tune in. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see here. And stick around because I believe our next video will be about the chicken coop, and believe me, you're not going to want to miss what we do to this chicken coop. Next video though, it's just the roof. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.